Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So in this video, I'll be just telling you guys how I started my university program in Nigeria and graduated from a university in the UK. So what I mean is that I transferred my program in Nigeria at some point to the UK. Is to tell you that you can also do this. You can also transfer your studies from Nigeria to the UK. Right. So in this video, I will explain everything to you how I did it. So let's get right into this video. So it's going to be about gist. Hey guys, my name is Chinemerem. If you are stopping by my channel for the first time, you are most welcome. Please don't forget to like this video, share the video, subscribe to my channel, and keep watching. And to my returning subscribers, amazing returning subscribers, thank you guys so much for coming back, for watching, and for everything. I really appreciate all of you. I started my program in Nigeria, and then at some point I switched. I transferred my studies from Nigeria, and then I finished in the UK. I don't know if you guys know that it is very possible to transfer your studies from your country to the UK and graduate in the UK. And this may look like it's not true, but the truth is that people from all over the world are even doing this. I've seen people that transferred their studies from China and they were doing masters, right? And they came here, and after some few months they finished here, and some of them, they won't have to graduate from here. They will only come here for a few months, get some work experience or get some study experience here, and then go back to their country to also finish. They are called transfer students. You can choose what you want. You can do a certain number of months, you can do a certain number of years, you can do, it depends basically on. For me, I'm going to tell you a little background story about my own case and how I did mine. So I was doing a 5-year course in Nigeria there. You know, in Nigeria we do this 6 months IT training. If you're not Nigerian, in Nigeria, if you are going for a 5-year course, when you get to fourth year, you would go to any industry and do your training for 6 months. If you're doing a 4-year course, when you get to third year, you would go for 6 months, usually second semester, and do your industrial training. During mine, I did my wedding, and during my 6 months training, I traveled to the UK to, I only got married then, so I came to visit my husband. Okay, the initial plan was I was going to do my IT in the UK and then go back and complete my 1 year in Nigeria. But then on getting here, I found out that industrial trainings done outside Nigeria is not recognized. So when I found this out, my plan was I would go maybe a month before the IT ends. I would go to Nigeria and at least do 1 month so that I will have something to present when I'm doing my defense. Because at the end of the IT, you also do some kind of defense. And even some people don't even do this IT because to get a place to do this training is not always easy. But just before the IT ended, just before the time for me to go back home, pregnancy fell on me. Or I fell on pregnancy. I don't know what which one. I think I fell on pregnancy or pregnancy fell on me, right? Yeah. Any of them. So before the IT ended, I was already few months gone. And hey, that was when the trouble started. Even with the pregnancy, I still wanted to go back home and finish my program and then come back. But at some point, some things started happening. My midwife was scared that if I fly, something could happen to the baby. Cause these people, they can, they love to look out and point out everything. Not like it's bad for someone to travel when pregnant. So she said that traveling when you are pregnant is on individual basis. So before you travel, your midwife has to assess you and say you are fit to travel. But for my own, she said I could travel if I wanted to, but that she would really advise against me traveling because there were some complications then. I still insisted on going back to Nigeria because I didn't want to be termed a dropout. I didn't want to because I didn't know that I could transfer my studies to the UK, right? So I was like, no, I don't want to be a dropout. I must go back to Nigeria, blah blah blah. Only for my midwife again to mention it again that she doesn't think it is right for me to go back to Nigeria. That she said she was like she didn't think it was right for me to fly. That it's not like she's stopping me, but she's telling me from what she's seeing that she doesn't think I should fly at this point. And the plan was for me to come back and have my baby here in the UK. But due to the time of the exam that was scheduled in Nigeria then, it was something that was mostly impossible. And she told me that if I finally travel to Nigeria, that she doubts if I will come back and deliver. That her own belief was that I will have my baby in Nigeria. And she said if a good midwife should assess me with the way things were then, that midwife wouldn't let me travel. So after thinking about this, after talking to some people will be like, So you cherish your education more than your baby, blah blah blah. But I still wasn't taking it because I didn't want to be a dropout. I just didn't want to. I was like, I've done 4 years, just 1 year to go, and you guys are telling me not to go and finish up. I was devastated. I remember crying. I wept. God. The very day we took the decision that I won't travel again was on the 1st of January that year. I was crying. I was like, so that's how I'm not going to graduate. I will not finish my studies. That's how I will not blah blah blah. But then I held on to faith. I held on to God. I was like, God, if this is your plan, then let your will be done. So I just said, you know what? I dished everything about that, and then I just focused on myself and my baby. So with time, my husband said, okay, that do you know what? We could transfer your studies from Nigeria to the UK. And I was like, that's not possible. And he said, yes, it is possible. We could check for schools that will admit you, schools that will accept you, and we could do that. Hmm. It felt like a joke. It felt like we were not serious. We started the processing. I started working towards my transcript, because for me to do this, I would need a transcript, right? So I started working towards my transcript, towards getting a transcript for my program. Then I started applying to universities, and I was specific about what I wanted. I wanted final year. And here, most courses in the UK is for 3 years. But the course I was studying in Nigeria that was for 5 years was 3 years here. So I applied to over 5 schools, and I got admission in over 5 of them. Yes, I did. I did. I did. Yes. In fact, for all the schools I applied to, none of them told me no. But there was a but. The only rejection I've gotten, and I must be frank with you guys, is scholarship. I've not been so lucky with scholarships. I've been applying, but I haven't been lucky to get one. Of course, it's very competitive, right? To get a scholarship is not easy. For me, I'm not going for the partially funded ones. I'm going for the fully funded ones. Call me greedy, but I know how we hustled to get my tuition fee for a year. And then I'll put out a video on how I made up £12,000 my tuition fee a year. I think at this point, you should already subscribe to my channel and turn on your bell, because soon I'm going to be lighting up juicy content for you guys on this channel, especially if you are looking to study in the UK. If you would need someone to help you with your application, you should contact me. And of course, it is not going to be free. No, nothing is free in Freetown. I'm going to charge you some money, but it's going to be a reasonable amount of money, and it's not going to be too costly. It's going to be something affordable, because I understand. And for me, on my part, if I apply to any university for you, and for any reason whatsoever, on my own part, you don't get the admission, so I'm going to give you 100% refund. If you want my agent to help you, I've got agents. You can reach out to me also on Instagram, and I'll link you to these agents that will help you. For my agents as well, depending on your agreement with them, if after your admission you don't get there, if after the process you don't get the admission, they could give you 50% or 100% refund, depending on your agreement with them. So you must also reach an agreement with them. Now, you remember I said there was a board when I got my admission. So some of the universities offered me second year, and some offered me third year. Why only one offered me year one? I think for some reason the person didn't go through my application really well. So I wrote to them, to that particular one. I told them that, see, I can't start from year one. I already told you that I've done 4 years in Nigeria, and why will I start from year one? They now said, okay, they will put my application back to the department, and they will see what the department will say. After 2 days or thereabouts, they came back to me and told me that yes, they've given me year two. And I said, no, I don't want year two, I want year three. I want final year. But they told me something. So they said that if I was transferring from a school in the UK, they would have given me final year, because it's the same level of education. But because I was coming from Africa, of course, that they would like me to understand the basic things about the course I am going for. And that the reason why they're not giving me year one is because my result was good, blah, 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 blah. And they're like, okay, your results, they are so good, and that's why we would not give you year one. But to give you final year will be more difficult. I said, okay, no problem. Then the other ones that gave me year two as well, they said the same thing. It was as if they did meeting for me. But at the end of the day, I found out that, well, what they were saying was maybe, I think to an extent that's true, because coming from a different place, you have to really understand what, in fact, you have to really understand what you're going into, because I really struggled. Honestly, I struggled, but I did it. Then, for universities that accepted me for third year, I had to choose between them because of tuition fee. And I had to choose the cheapest one of all of them. But the bad thing was that the cheapest one was very far from me, about 4 hours with train, and the costless one were very close to me. So I was like, okay, how will I do this? What do I do? How do I? And that boils down to decision. See, before you plan to study in the UK, to be honest, you should sit down and reason. You would sit down and reason what you are coming to do. You have to sit down and think about it. Think about, the financial aspect of studying here is so much. And people will be like, no, 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 no. I just want to leave my country. I just want to go to the UK. When we get there, we will survive. Yes, you will survive, but it is not always like that. It's not always going to be easy. Like if you are single, you have yourself to yourself. You can work as much as you want to work. You can always do a lot of things yourself. But if you're coming here with your family, I think you should think about it very, very well before starting any program at all in the UK. We had to sit down, my husband and I had to sit down to think about the cheaper university, how to go about it, and all of that. And we're like, if I go for the cheaper one, and the cost of traveling and coming back, because we all won't leave from my city down to that city. In fact, it was a lot. It was a tough decision for us to make. Finally, I had to take the school that was far from me. We had a family friend living in the city, so most times I would pass the night in their house, and then I won't have to come back and go back every day. Even self, most times I would come back home was because I had to go to work, because I was working then and I was studying. Sometimes I would go from work to school, from school back to work, and then from work I'll come home. It was not easy. That's why I said if you're coming here to study, you need to think about it very, very well. For me to go to school and come back was about £98 if I don't book on time. And for a few months, I did this. I paid 90 something pounds until after a while, someone told me about rail card. See, in the UK, if you are not informed, you'll be deformed. So someone told me about rail card, and I got this rail card, and from 90 something pounds, it went down to 50 something pounds, and some days 40 something pounds if I book on time. So you could imagine how much I was overspending before I saw this person that told me about rail card. So try and get good connections if you enter the UK. Get good connections. It will save you a lot of money. It will save you a lot of time and energy, honestly. So try and get good connections if you move to the UK. My mother-in-law, we had to bring her over at some point with a visitor visa. Again, if you need help with visa applications, you can also reach out to me. In fact, we've never had a rejection when it comes to visa. So if you need help with student or visitor visa, you can reach out to me also on Instagram, and I'll connect you with my agent. Very, very reliable agent. For work visa, we can also do that. Reach out to me on Instagram, and I'll connect you to this my reliable agent. So she handled childcare for me at that for the first 6 months, because visitor visa is for 6 months. So she spent 5 months taking care of my child for me, and I had my time to, go to school, go to work, come back, and I wasn't bothered about childcare. Another important thing you will consider when coming to the UK is childcare. Childcare can be so costly. It is too costly, to be honest. Obviously, I had one baby then. So, of course, the baby that made me to stay back and study here. After 5 months, my mother-in-law left, and then we had to bring my mom over as well because of childcare. Childcare is the beginning and end of this family life in this UK, to be honest. And then that's it basically. Until I graduated, she was here helping with childcare and all of that. It was like a merry-go-round then. It wasn't easy because there are some things that you will have to learn from year one about plagiarism, about referencing, and stuff like that. During your induction, you learn a lot of things. But because me, I didn't get to the induction, the adaptive was so difficult. So, but I tried my best. Pipette in Nigeria, if you are a science student, you know what I mean by pipette. Here in the UK, you will have to learn pipetting skills because I was eating those pipette in Nigeria now. That pipette that if you do it like this, you will suck the liquid and it will go up. But here, you have to calibrate your pipette. Sometimes you even have to calculate the diameter of the pipette you have to use. Or more, it was not easy. It took me time to learn. But thank God for my lecturers. They are so good. They were so accessible. They were so helpful. They really helped me. I learned the pipetting skills. I learned other things about referencing, plagiarism, stuff like that. I learned a lot, and then I went through my program, and at the end of the day, I made a first class. Yes, I finally made a first class, but it wasn't easy. I was always sleeping in my husband's school then, because my husband's school was in our city. So when I come back from my own school, I'll go to his own school and I will stay all night with him. All night we were studying, we were reading, back to back, back to back, back to back, back to back. But finally, I really thank God that it all ended in praise. And before I finished from school, I took in again for the second one. Pregnancy fell on me again before I even finished from school. God has been so faithful. God has been so faithful. I know some people will be like now, oh, can you tell us the documents you used? To be honest, the only document I used was my transcript. Basically, that was it. Other documents will be, of course, your passport, your result. If you are not in the UK, of course, you need your result. And that, for me, I didn't have a result because I haven't gotten that final result. The only result I had was those, year one result, year two result, and all of that. But you would need your transcript. You would need those results, but your transcript will also be very, very important. And then again, what other document did I use? No other document at all. For my application, what I used was my CV. I got a CV, my personal statement. Of course, if you're applying for any school, whether you are applying as a transfer student or for masters or PhD, you will normally write a personal statement. I think I've said this before. I think I will bring up my personal statement, the one I wrote there, and we will go through it together, and I will point out the mistakes in that personal statement. Even with all those mistakes, that personal statement was absolutely, absolutely good. But then I could point out some mistakes from it right now, because, of course, as the more you grow, the more you get better. So if I have the time and if you guys agree, I could bring my personal statements, because I wrote about five of them, right? Because I applied to more than five schools. I could bring one or two from them and we could go through it together. And I point out the mistakes so that when you're writing your own, you not make those mistakes as well. And then that's basically it. And what other document did I use? I'm not sure I used any other document. These are all the documents I used: my CV, my transcript, um, my passport, because of course you have to submit your passport, my passport, and nothing else. And then you could get a reference letter from your lecturer, from your anybody you can get a reference letter from. That would be good as well. And what else again? I went for undergraduate program then, so that's basically all I needed at the point. Yes, you can transfer your studies from your country to the UK, and most times it's on individual basis. But yes, you can do this. You have to persevere though, because it was not easy. But yes, I did it. If I could do it, then you can do it as well. If I could do it after all the hustles, after all the bustles, after all of that, then yes, I believe you also can do it. So if you have any questions at all, please let me know in the comment section. And of course, I will be here to answer. And that's the end of my story. Did you enjoy the story? If yes, don't forget to let me know in the comment section. Tell me what you think about my story. And if you need anything at all, if you have any questions, don't forget to connect with me on Instagram. As you know me, I'm open to your questions. And that's that about this video. And that's me saying thank you guys for watching. Until I see you again in my next video, do take care, stay safe, and bye.